Welcome to the journey with Barts and Rosey. It's show number 3. Really excited about this one. Beautiful day in Toronto. Hey, let's bring my co-host up right away, Brad Bartko from Edmonton, Alberta. Barts, how's it going?
Good, man. It's hot here, man. It's a warm one. I'm melting, but I'm here. We made it. Episode 3. I'm excited for this one. As always, week in and week out, I always look forward to chatting with you and a guest. And really, a guest I don't know too much about. I've learned in the last couple of days about, but I'm really looking forward to hearing this guy's story and obviously your connection with him. And again, biggest thing is bringing awareness, ability through disability, as you always talk about, and I'm excited to get going.
Yeah, absolutely. Really great show last week with Barry Monroe. Had a lot of good feedback from people and talking about accessibility in Canada. And, I want people, if you're watching the show for the first time, The Journey with Barts and Rosey, this show is really about that. It's about trying to get the disabled community to understand that you can do anything. Get out of the house and get if you're missing a leg like me, just get going. And if you're in a wheelchair like Brad, there's things you can do. You don't have to be an Olympian, Paralympian. You don't have to do it at the world-class level, but you have to do something. And to the able-bodied community, we want people in the able-bodied community to understand that disability is a mindset. Just because you see somebody that looks different doesn't mean that they are different. There is so many incredible people in this country and in this world who have this moniker disability that can do anything. And I love the opportunity that we have right now. A shout out to Jordan, the Fanshawe Kid, our producer, who is incredible. Hopefully next week, guys that are watching, we will have an intro song and an extra song. But right now, so Brad, tell us what before we bring Mark up, before we bring Demo up, he's going to be a great guest. What's been going on this week with you personally?
Not much, just a very busy week. It's my birthday week. We're kicking out the birthday week. I turned 28 on Friday. This week coming on the 18th, so we're looking forward to that. And now that things are opening up, hopefully we can get out to a restaurant and share a nice dinner with some family and some friends. And other than that, man, just kind of kicking it, hanging out, changing the world. I just wrapped up a great interview on Friday with CP Alberta. So Cerebral Palsy Alberta, based in Alberta. And I was an honorary guest on their show. Got to share my story a bit, talk about, how to really, not about me, it's all about we, and how that mindset shift, how to surround yourself with the right people and really go out and make a difference and go out and change the world. And I left some great tangibles there. That should be out this week as well. And the documentary is released on the 17th on Thursday. So that's going to come out. Lots of news coming out early this week about that. And I'm just lots to look forward to, man. I'm always grateful. I'm humbled. I'm alive, right? We pinch ourselves every day, and just another great way to wrap up the week is another episode here on the journey. So.
Absolutely, and great week to look forward to. The 17th is the documentary will be out. The 18th, your birthday, 28 years old. That's fantastic. And yeah, we've got some great shows coming up too. I know next week is going to be your guest, and the following week we're going to have Jess Silver. You said CP, Jess Silver, great kid, great girl, a young woman who's amazing with CP. We're going to bring awareness to that. But first, let's get to today's show. I know you don't know him, but I have had the honor to know him for a number of years. You talk about a kid with heart and courage, determination. He can do anything. What a story. What an unbelievable Canadian. Mark Del Montes, come on up and say hi on the journey.
Hey, how's it going, guys? Thanks for having me on the journey.
So excited, Demo. I've known you for a long time. You've inspired me like crazy. Brad is the first time. So just for a second here, Brad, say hi to Demo.
Yeah, Mark, thanks so much for doing this, man, and coming on. I didn't know much about you before today. I did my own kind of Google research, and I'm just so excited to connect with you and to share some stories and to hear more in depthly about your journey and your mindset and what you're up to. I know you got a if I read correctly on your Twitter page, you got a big event coming up. So we'll get into that. I'm excited, and we're happy to have you, man. Thanks so much for doing this.
Well, thanks for having me, and happy birthday to you coming up this week too, Brad. It's pretty exciting.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thanks so much.
I feel like the old man on the panel. Your two ages together, I don't think get me, but that's for another day. So, Demo, for everybody that's watching the journey, this is show number 3. The first one, Brad and I just talked about our thoughts on the world and on disability and ability. Last week we had our first guest, Barry Monroe, and now so honored. I know you know Barry. So honored to have you on show number 3, guest number 2. Tell everybody the journey that Mark Delmontis went on to become the man you are.
Sure, yeah, I'd like to say every day can be a journey, that's for sure. But I think one that stands out for me would be I think my first trip in 2009 at age 22 when I went across Canada on rollerblades from Toronto to Vancouver. It was 5 provinces, 5,000 kilometers to raise money and awareness to start blind hockey programs across Canada. And that was stemmed from my own personal story with my own NHL dream being derailed and shattered from sight loss, and that happened again at 17, and that was tough for me, my family, my friends, community back in Toronto, and finding out that I was looking to play junior hockey, then all of a sudden being faced with this life-altering condition that I was going to lose like 95% of my sight in 6 months. I mean, that was tough, but I think I was able to find strength, find courage. 2 years after that skate in 2009, 2011, so this would have been, I've been 24 now. I went on another skate from Halifax to Toronto. I've been another 5 provinces, 2,000 kilometers to raise more money and awareness for the cause Courage Canada, which in 2016 turned into the Canadian Blind Hockey Association, which was the first time ever in history that we were able to actually build a national association for the sport. A lot of that was thanks to the growth in the community, and I think the journey's still going. Really, the ultimate dream is to see blind hockey in the Paralympic Games. So that's the real journey.
Yeah, absolutely. And Brad, before you get your question, I just want to throw one in here. The ultimate goal. I've had the opportunity to be in the Paralympics many times with para ice hockey. It's time, the IPC, if you're watching the journey, it's time that we have another hockey venue in the Paralympics. Yeah, I know that standing amputee hockey has tried for years, blind hockey. We have to get another hockey. Para is amazing, but it is time. It's 2021. We're getting ready for Beijing 2022. We have to get another games in. Mark, I know your family. I've been at your house before. I've had your father's famous seafood linguine. It is incredible. Can't have it anymore now because I'm vegan, so we'd have to have like linguine, but that's okay. Talk to our viewers about what it means to have incredible family support when you're going through a disability. This happened to you at a young age.
Yeah. I mean, it's everything, and I think for family, that term is it can mean something different for so many different people. Depending, many people are fortunate to have family. Many people aren't fortunate to have one. And for some people, our family is your closest friends or even your hockey team. And for others like myself who've been fortunate, I've had my parents and my brother Luca, and I know that ever since I lost my sight at 17, the biggest thing I think that my family did was, and my closest friends, was they didn't treat me any different. There's still an expectation for me, in a sense, to still be the person that I am. And I think just it's courage can be contagious, right? And finding strength in and around me, even meeting people like yourself, Rosie. When I was going through that, I had the privilege of meeting you after I lost my sight at a Herb Carnegie Future Aces Youth Leadership Conference in Collingwood, Ontario, and I thought that was pretty cool. And I think just meeting more people that went through a life-altering condition and battled through, I think that had a big effect on me. And I had to grow up really fast at 17. I mean, I lost everything within seconds. I lost junior contract. I lost my driver's license. I lost the ability to see family, friends, loved ones clearly. I mean, um, you lost so much, but I still had to find strength to realize that I still had enough still in me to give, to contribute, to find hope and happiness. And there were a lot of tough days. I remember being off in university at Western, and some of the darkest days are when you're on your own in a house, and you know you're trying to just figure it all out. You're young to begin with, but then being young and having a disability can make things even more complex. And I was fortunate that I decided to start Courage Canada and really get on this blind hockey journey, and that really started me on a new shift.
Yeah, and you know what? It is so incredible, and that's what Brad and I, when we wanted to start to show the journey, it's about showing people that you can have rough things happen to you. You can hit a rough patch, but it's what you do with that, and that's, you know, when we met through Future Aces and the late great Herb Carnegie. Man, what an incredible organization, and great person with just everybody in the organization at Future Aces, and just to show your determination and courage, and what you can do, not what you can't do, but what you can do. Brad, question?
Yeah, Mark, let's back you up to all the way to 2009, that first kind of, cross country trip. What was that mindset like for you? What went into that? For those that really don't know you, what went into doing that? Did you just wake up one day and say, you know what, this junior contract is gone, my site's gone, I can't, so I want to do
Yeah.
something else. I want to leave an impact. Is that where it started? Or really, where was your head at, and where did it begin to where it is now?
Yeah, I ended up meeting. It's a great question. I ended up meeting someone when I was in my third year at Western who really changed my life. A guy by the name of Chris Delaney. Um, he had found out about me through a story came out with me in one of the papers in the city, and he reached out, and he was he happened to be diagnosed with the exact same eye condition that I was diagnosed with earlier in his life too, and he was aspiring to be a pro football player, and an Ontario boy. He was trying to obviously have a successful pro career, and again diagnosed with the same eye condition I have, Leber's hereditary optic neuropathy, or LHON, and I found out that in 1997 he went on a two-seater tandem bike ride from coast to coast to raise money for eye research in Canada, and I was at a really tough time in my life when I met him, and it was like I was just really depressed and down. I gained a ton of weight, and I had just stopped finding confidence, and I was losing hope. And I think meeting him changed my life. It changed my whole story. And um, I growing up, I loved to blade, and I loved to get on my skates. And I never had a bike growing up, and I used to just have an old pair of rollerblades I used to throw on and get around town in Weston where I'm from, and um, I just thought about the idea of I always wanted to expand the programs with blind hockey across the country, and start programs for kids who boys and girls. And I thought to myself, and what if I rollerbladed or inline skated? I guess you could say inline skated to the home of the Olympics and Paralympic Games in Vancouver to start a dream for young kids that they can play blind hockey even despite visual impairment. And about a year later, through a year of planning and rallying up my family, friends, community, and a team of support guides and friends, we set off on June 27th, 2009, from my home arena, Weston Lions Arena, and I think it's probably one of the craziest things I've ever done in my life. But I mean, where my exact mindset was that I think it was more of a personal mission in many ways than it was to raise money. I think I had to really prove to myself that I could do it. I think I thought that my life in terms of being active and being athletic was done. So this was a big test for me to prove that to prove that I could still set out on a goal like this. And physically it was tough, but I think mentally it was harder. I mean, 111 days of battling through, from skating from 30, 40, 50, 60 to 80, 90 kilometers a day, to tons of different terrain, climate conditions, um, a lot of times you just want to throw in the towel, but you remember why you're doing it. And but yeah, I think looking back, I sometimes can't really believe that I went and did something like that. Um, yeah, I just can't. But my mindset was just to the birds chirping out of here. Sorry guys. The my mindset was to just set out and accomplish what I set out to do.
Like,
Yeah.
I tell you one thing, Mark. There's a picture up there right now with you meeting with a couple of guys behind you, and just what you've done and what you've accomplished. Brad, I was at Weston Arena when Mark came back in after the journey to finish the skate. It was myself, the late Johnny Bauer was there, Dick Duff. It was incredible. The arena was the Weston Arena. Brad, for you, is an old barn. It has been around for a million years, and it is just a classic. It was rocking in there. Everybody was going crazy. The family. Hey, Mark, what does it mean to you? Like, I've seen you on the ice. I've watched you in tournaments. Just excel on getting young kids who have lost their sight to really understand. Hey, I don't have to think that I can be the next Gretzky. I can be the next Mark DeMontes. And I love that. For me, that was the driving force in para ice hockey. Getting a little kid to want to be not Sidney Crosby, but Greg Westlake or Billy Bridges. What does it mean to you to see where I think we do have a flock of seagulls in your
Yeah,
backyard, eh?
they're battling these
Tell
seagulls.
them
I
to
think
stop.
they know I'm on with you, Rosie. They're looking for
They want to get on the Brad. They want to get free airtime. Hey, I think Gooch sent them to get free airtime.
you.
But no, Dino, talk to us about what it means to be a role model, and I know how important that is to you to be a good role model.
Yeah, I mean, there's the essence of really starting the organization to begin with. I mean, was trying to get kids who are blind and partially sighted, boys and girls, the chance to just learn to skate, learn the basic fundamentals of playing hockey, be part of a team, a safe and fun environment. I spent 5 to 8 years traveling across the country from Newfoundland all the way to Vancouver Island. I mean, living out of a suitcase, being on trains, planes, automobiles, eating bad pub food, just doing whatever I could to get to small towns, to arenas, to work with youth who are blind or partially sighted, and just letting them realize that hockey is just a catalyst for growth, personal growth, development. It can help you in so many ways in life, being on a team, whether it's in the community, in the workplace. Um, I think that's what's part of one of my favorite things that I've had in my most fondest memories are spending time with young aspiring blind hockey players in all parts of the country, just reminding them that not to take life so personal sometimes, and to do what you love to do, and yeah, they've inspired me more than I've even tried to inspire them. A lot of these kids live even with more than just one disability. Many of them have multi disabilities too, and um, they just want to play and be part of a team and get on the ice. And I think that's so Canadian. And I think if there's anything I can do ever to ensure that they get that opportunity and they feel part of a team, I mean, can ask for more. And they, yeah, I was on a Zoom call last week with the National Youth Blind Hockey Summer Camp, and there's about 25 of them on, and they're asking me questions about life and asking questions about my rollerblades and everything, and it was just like it was a bit surreal to think that over the past 10 years the community has grown this fast, and there was a time we've never had youth, boys and girls, just on a part of a virtual summer camp, and all of a sudden, you look back to those rollerblades, those hard days in the prairies, trying to battle mentally, and you really think to yourself, I'm so glad I strapped my skates on and got out that next day.
So, Mark, I got back to back for you, and then I'll let Paul wrap up. I want to, before we get into your event coming up and the next journey that you're going to embark on, 'cause I think we'll leave that part for last. But let's talk about how hard was it for you, and maybe the process of being this next junior hockey player, being able to skate and have your full vision, and then all of a sudden going, playing hockey and not having your vision anymore,
Yep.
and trying to feel the puck and grab a stick and all this. So what was the I guess what was the process like for you? How was that? I'm sure there were some tough days, trying to
Yeah.
figure that out and do it all over again.
Yeah, I remember being in training camp at 17, just trying to like take passes when I was starting to lose my sight, and I was starting to be hard on myself. I was missing one timers, and I was missing the puck on like dumping chases, and I was just struggling. I was like starting to be hard on myself, wondering was it me? But then even in like playing in high school baseball, even when I was starting to lose my sight, I was missing like pot flies and like basic like routine ground balls, and I wasn't sure what was going on, and um, I think when I found out fast, and as soon as I realized fast. I think I have to say the hardest thing I lost. The driver's license was nothing. The ability to see. I mean, yeah, it sucks. Don't get me wrong, but it's the hockey. Hockey was the hardest piece of all of it. And I think as soon as I realized that there was still a team in Toronto, the Toronto Ice Owls, that were still playing the game even despite their blindness. That had a really big effect on me, and I think I started playing with the team. Um, and they've been around since 1972, and I remember the first day I played blind hockey and just walking in the dressing room and just still feeling like I was part of a team, and really getting to meet others who were also blind and partially sighted, and just getting to still play the game, even though a bigger puck, slower, makes noise. I was still playing the great game. I had to learn, like you said, I had to adapt. I found out really fast, though, that I didn't lose different with different disabilities. Like, I mean, I didn't lose my limbs, or I didn't lose my mobility, or I didn't get a spinal cord injury. Like, I mean, for me, it was my sight. So everything else in terms of my body was still functioning as if I was still playing the game at an elite level. So I had to learn to adjust to the speed of the game, but I also had to learn how to do those things like communicate on the ice more that I was stubborn to do when I was younger. It's just um, but like I mean, I've been playing on the national team the past number of years since it started getting going, and I've been traveling with the sport with others across the country, or now across North America. And like I mean, there's nowhere else I'd want to be right now than playing for my country and being able to try to be the best blind hockey player that I can be. And there's so many others on my team and even on the U.S. that played hockey at one point in their life, lost their sight, and they've had to adapt too. And to see a blind hockey game is really cool. And I know that right now it's planned that the next Canada USA series will be in St. Louis this October, 2021. So I'm hoping that that's a green light, and that'd be really cool to have everyone tune in.
Awesome, and really quick, we don't want to keep you too long. Again, we appreciate you doing this as always, and I'm giddy over here. I can't believe the story, and you're just an incredible human being. And so thank you
Thank
again
you.
so much
No,
for
thank
doing
you.
this. And so let's talk about kind of your next journey, your next skate across the country, so to speak. I mean, when's that taking place? Where can people follow along with your journey, or watch you, or donate, or
Yep.
wherever we can help? Where can we do that?
Yeah, no, that's greatly appreciated. And the next skate's happening this September 1st through the 10th, 2021. It's the 10-year anniversary since the last skate in 2011 from Halifax to Toronto. This one will be taking place in Ontario. It'll be a 10-day journey for 1,000 kilometers total, and the goal is to raise $100,000. And it'll be a relay with me and three other blind hockey players. We'll be rotating each day for the 10 days, and we're starting in Windsor. Looks like probably the home of the Spitfires, and ending up ending up in Ottawa, home of the 67s. It looks like, and yeah, I mean, really looking forward to that. To celebrating the past 10 years, raising money for the next 10 years, continuing to raise that awareness about the sport, the parasport, really, not just in Canada, but even globally. Try and expand more countries around the world playing, and I'm looking forward to it. Skating my home province. Looks like I'll be coming through Toronto on Labor Day, and um, that'll be some. I'm sure I'll be stopping in my home community of Weston by the arena. There's no way I could go through Toronto, Rosie, without stopping at Weston. And, I'm sure you'll be there, and so many others like they were when 10 years ago. And I think it's a testament to the community and my family and my friends and everyone who stuck by me. And I would say it's a celebration of all of our accomplishments. In order for me to get to where I've gotten to go, and I am, I mean, it's a testament to everyone else who's helped me get there. And this skate will be another token of hopefully inspiration for young people who are blind and partially sighted who hopefully this skate can just be an inspiration for them in their own life, whether it's hockey or whatever their passion may be, for them to keep it closer to them. And I think that's truly what it's all about. I think hockey is just a catalyst for change, and I'm really excited to do it. And again, really excited to get back on the road, which I haven't done for 10 years now. And started training recently again to get back on skates. I can tell you it's fun. It feels good to dust off the old Reeboks, and it's definitely brought a smile on my face.
Yeah, unbelievable. And there's a picture of the team we have up there, Demo. Your brother is the GM and president, correct?
Yeah, general manager, national team. It's a family affair, the DeMontises and Canadian Blind Hockey, and those are all my brothers right there.
Absolutely, and head coach is an incredible guy. I know all the guys. I was fortunate enough a few years ago to come in the dressing room and speak to the team. That's the one thing that and 100% I will be at Western Arena with bells on to cheer you on and say a few words or do whatever. It doesn't matter. And that's the one thing, Brad, about the disabled community in sport. Last week, the 9th of June, it was 22 years from the day I lost my leg. And when you become a part of the disabled community in sport, it is such a close-knit group. And it doesn't matter whether you're a young boy, a young girl, an older man or woman. It makes no difference. The disabled, and I want to key so much onto this. It's not about the world-class team. It's not about making that the ultimate is to go to the Paralympics. But what it's about, and I think you guys both agree with me, it's the grassroots program. It's getting the little boy or girl in Corner Brook, Newfoundland, in Surrey, BC, in Western Ontario, in Edmonton. It's getting them to believe in themselves, and that means the world to me. And both of you are absolute huge inspirations to me and what you've accomplished in your life. Demo, tell everybody what's going on now. I know you don't want to get too personal with some stuff, but you've accomplished some incredible things. Some people might say, "Oh, he lost his sight." I could never do that. I could, you ran politically in an election. You've done some unbelievable things, and you're still a young man who has just worked so hard. Where are you right now in the world?
Yeah, as you noted, after the 2018 Ontario general election, I had run, and I was not successful. The government was, though, and Premier Doug Ford took government, and there was an opportunity for me to really play a leadership role in the accessibility file in the province. And so since then, I've been advising on accessibility to the Minister for Seniors and Accessibility, the Honourable Raymond Cho. So I've been dialed into our Accessibility for Ontarians with Disabilities Act, our standard development committees, and fairly advising the minister on our advancing accessibility framework in the province. And politics is, politics is not what drives me. What drives me is the opportunity for policy development and being able to create legacy initiatives and decisions that will impact people's lives to live more independent and to be more healthy, more active, more connected. I don't know how long I'll be doing this, but I do know that for as long as I am doing it, I'll try to impact the quality of life of as many people as I can. So right now I'm focused on that. Obviously, my job at Queen's Park, I'm focused on training for the hashtag Courage 21 inline skate fundraiser in support of Canadian Blind Hockey this September. And other than that, just keeping life busy and hoping the province here is going to open up more and more, and we put COVID-19 to rest here.
That would be fantastic. One of the things we're trying to do, Brad and myself, with the journey with this new program is really try to get people aware of what's going on in the community. And I think, Brad, what we'll do in maybe sometime in July or August, we'll have that roundtable about accessibility. We'll get Barry Munro back on. Mark, if you could come on with what you're doing, would be a huge honor. And talk to people about, what we battle every day, whether whether you're in a chair like Brad or you lost your sight like you or missing a leg like me, what it's like to battle and what it's like for your families to battle disability in a city, because it's not easy. It is definitely not easy. Brad, before you ask your or finish up with your last thoughts, Demo, talk to us now about the final. Somebody's out there watching, and it's whether they are going through a disability or it's a family member that clicked into the journey and, hey, what's this about? Oh, I haven't seen this. Seems like a pretty cool program. I know somebody who's disabled. What do you say to somebody right now in 2021, coming out hopefully of a pandemic, who is disabled?
I'd say welcome. Welcome to the largest, fastest growing consumer market group there is. I would I would say this. Disability. I didn't choose disability. Disability chose me. I always make that very clear. Like, anyone can be disabled at any given time, and we have to remember that when we make decisions, when we make considerations. I mean, I would say, I would tell people to start by just saying, cut yourself some slack for one. Don't take this personal, this life altering situation. Um, don't take it personal. Cut yourself some slack and understand that there's a whole world of people who are on the same path that you may be, whether they live with a physical disability, sensory and intellectual disability. I mean, whether they're dealing with mental health. And I think being able to still be open to learning and understanding where everyone else comes from is vital. But I would say just the biggest thing I always say to people, and especially when I'm dealing with young people who are faced with sight loss, and I meet with them regularly, and the biggest thing I say is just cut yourself some slack and don't be so hard on yourself. And the biggest thing is that don't just look right now at what's been taken away from you. Let's start at what you have. And I think that's something I always share with. It's not what's missing. It's what's still there.
Wow, man, you are an inspiration. You always have been, and you always will be. I love you, Demo. Anything I can ever do for you, I'm there. Brad, final thoughts to Demo?
Yeah, Mark, I'm the same way, man. When I hate to get political, but when you were bringing up the political stuff and making changes in your community and your province, I'm doing the same thing here in Alberta. Obviously, I'm a little more greener on this side. I'm trying to create accessibility and awareness and reaching out to business owners and all this stuff. So,
Nice.
if I may, I'd love to reach out to you, and
Always.
we can put our heads together and we can
Always.
all create change and become a three-headed monster. Good.
Always. I'm very passionate about working with businesses to embed inclusion and accessibility. And no, I love all of it. Anything that can remove barriers and get people living, working, and playing. I mean, count me in. But thanks for having me on, guys. This has been fun, and the journey is it's such there's so much truth and reality around what that means to have a disability and to be on your own journey. And it's truly, in Canada, it's a reflection of what it means to be Canadian, battling adversity and rising above. I mean, that's just the Canadian way, right? So
That's right. Yeah.
You got it. Well, our mutual friend Dave Black is probably watching, and he's probably cheering for his Montreal Canadiens to beat the Las Vegas Golden Knights. So we'll hopefully in the near future we'll be able to get together and talk in person. But we are both, Brad and myself, on behalf of Jordan LaRoche, our producer. Thank you so much for coming on. You are a true inspiration, Mark, and we'll talk soon.
thanks, Rosie, Brad, Jordan. Appreciate it.
Thanks so much, man.
Take care, Demo. What a great, you know what?
Wow.
We have an opportunity, Barks, and I am so grateful that Gooch gave us this platform, that we have an incredible person like Jordan, who is doing so much to make this show work. because we're the ones that are out front. People see us. But I'm never going to, when it comes to doing something, you can't do it without the person behind you. And Jordan, you do an incredible job for us, making us look good. We're so grateful. I'm excited about where we're going, Brad.
Yeah, me too. It's cliche, or as cliche as we want to say, this journey is just getting started. I'm excited to be on it with in my opinion, two of the best guys in the business, and of course, obviously Gooch, if we want to include Gooch as well. So three of the best guys, and of course, huge thanks to Mark tonight. That was incredible. Opened my eyes to a whole new level. I didn't know a Mark before you brought him on, so it was fantastic, awesome. I'm looking forward to connecting and just bringing change to all of our communities, and it starts with this show.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's only going to get better. I know during the week, we're going to announce our guests for next week, which you have got. The following week, hopefully, will be Jess Silver. We're going to have some incredible people, men and women who will talk about disability and ability and what they can do, not what they can't do. Let's end it like we always do, and we will get better every week. Please send us questions, send us comments, whether it's through Gooch Live or to Jordan or to Brad or myself. We want to get better. We want to answer questions. Something that I love doing at the end of the show, our hero of the week, and my hero of the week is a good friend of mine, Brady Leibold. Brady, who played junior hockey out west, battled a heroin addiction, is clean and sober for almost 16 months now, and has announced that he is going to be rollerblading for mental health awareness. Next May 28th, 2022, he'll be leaving Newfoundland and traveling across this great country to BC to end it. He has done so much. He has taken a incredible obstacle and turned it into an incredible opportunity. Brady Leibold, you are my hero of the week. Brad, do you have one?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I don't want to repeat things. I used my spouse the first week, my dad last week because of Father's Day, but this week is going to be, I guess, a little bit cliche. But my hero is going to a variety of people, and that is our nurses, our frontline staff. With the world opening up again and COVID looking like it's behind us, as much as we talk about it, they still don't get enough credit. So if you're a nurse, if you're a frontline worker, a caregiver, whatever the case may be, thank you. Really, from the bottom of my heart, Rosie's, Jordan's, Gooch's, whoever you want to talk to, thank you for making our world safe. Thank you for putting your lives on the line for us, and just thank you for battling through this crazy world with all of us, and so much. They're so underappreciated. I got one side bashing them, one side loving them. It's time we just come together and put everything behind us, and thank you. Really, truly, thank you. And those are the true heroes of the day for me.
Couldn't have said it better. Absolutely. If you get a chance to say thank you to somebody in the healthcare field who has helped, do that, because they are the true heroes. Jordan, we did it. We made it through show number 3. We're going to get better and bigger. I am so grateful on behalf of everybody out there, on behalf of Jordan LaRoche, our producer, Brad Bartko, Kerry Goulet. I'm Paul Rosen. This is The Journey with Barts and Rosey. Have a great week. Take care of yourself and each other, and God bless.